Welcome, everybody. We have some relationship experts with us today. A special shout out to Danielle Reed for connecting us. She spoke very highly of you. And as you know, Valentine's Day is a couple days away. And singles and married people, I mean, it's like, whew, what's going on here? So first, tell us, what should couples be doing for each other on Valentine's Day?
Valentine's Day is a day that the world recognizes love, but in our practice at One Love Works Dynamically, we want you to be doing what we're going to suggest in a few moments every day.
Yeah, what she said. We're trying to spread that same amazingness over the course of your life. And we understand it's going to be ebbs and flows, it's natural ebbs and flows. But it's our goal to have people live their most dynamic relationship life
And so on Valentine's
across
Day,
time.
on
Yeah.
Valentine's Day, if you are already coupled, it's important for you to do a relationship state of the union. It's what we call where you two get together and really unpack how's the relationship going. You can check in on your communication. You can see if there's any conflict that's unresolved, and you can tap into areas that you can nurture your companionship. So those are the three C's that we always ground our couples in regardless, but Valentine's Day is a great time to do that in a romantic setting, with some extra people serving you. Maybe there you go out and let people cater to you. But those are the three C's that you can focus on that day.
Oh, I love that 3C method. Now, I want to tap into the singles because you told me that y'all dated for 3 years. So you courted her for 3 years, and then you said, listen, I want to make you my lifelong partner. What should singles be looking for in, like some positive flags in a dating
Well, I mean, as far as the dating process goes, it's a dating experience. I mean, it's a shopping experience. It's just no different from any other shopping experience. Only it's the most important shopping experience you'll probably ever have in your life. So you're going into this thing vetting properly, and that's what we tell people to do. Have fun, but be sober. Mentally, be sober mentally because you're gonna if you went on a date with this person, you're probably super attracted to them, or it's something about the chemistry that makes you excited about this date. But we're still telling you to be sober because you got some. If you're dating for somebody that's a long-term partner, then there's some questions that you have to answer. So,
Yeah, and dating is not a relationship. So if you are single, we call it actively dating. So we want the language to be very clear and distinctive. For us, it was dating for a short period. And for us and our members, we recommended the dating process go no more than 6 weeks. And that's because
relationship?
you
Pause. Wait a minute.
yeah.
You have, okay, wait a minute. Are y'all old school? Are y'all traditional?
I don't know. I
No,
don't know.
I don't
Go
think
ahead, ask your
I don't
question.
think you can put us in a box
Go ahead, ask your question.
because
What's
I
your
don't
Okay.
think we're traditional.
Okay. So dating. So, okay. So when you are single, but you have a boyfriend, is that considered dating or you still, because people still have, let's just say boyfriend, girlfriend, but they might be seeing other people because that's okay with their partner. So is that okay? Talk to me.
That's exactly what we flagged for you. Because Kamara, what you were saying is when you're in a dating relationship, we want to catch that language because dating is
Right,
not a relationship. If
right.
you have the bandwidth, yes, date multiple people. When you all shift from that 4, 6 weeks period where you actually know this is the person and you want to go into courtship, then you can have that label of boyfriend, girlfriend, because now we know we're exclusive and we're doing this work together. But that's a conversation that both people have to agree to. Prior to that, you can date multiple people because you are shopping. It's just like Cullen gave the example of the shopping mall. And when we walk through with our members, you go into a store, you pick up a shirt. You can even try on that shirt, but you can walk out. The people don't run behind you and say, hey, we go together. You belong here. You better buy this. No, dating is not a committed connection.
Right. Either way, I think this is great that you brought this up because the key thing is that the two of you need to know exactly what you're in. Don't assume that that person shares the same definition of a relationship as you do. So and that's what we start out everybody that works with us with that knowledge.
Definitions are your
Be
friend.
clear about the definition. And for the people that want long-term relationships, we tell them all. A healthy relationship is
A
a
mutual exchange of time, energy, resources, service, support, and health. You are not in a relationship if you're dating. When you cross over, that's where you two must
Right.
mutually agree to that definition, because that's the work.
Well, you don't have to, but that is what your job is to do as a part of your vetting process, to find out if you're aligned about even what you view as a relationship. Because just like you said, Kamara, they're all. I think it's beautiful. Long as you are upright and out front with what a relationship is for you,
No,
that's
I
it's
like
awesome
that.
in my opinion.
No, I like that because I think our generation, we all about identity. We all about putting labels on, and people really have this idea on what is a relationship. But when
Right.
you said, listen, first of all, you have to have a conversation. It has to be mutually discussed. I've heard guys say, well, that's my girlfriend. I told my girl, I said, hey, he said that y'all together. She said, no, we're not. I've
Yeah.
had the guy say, a single man. She said, no, he not. He was just with me. I said, okay. I'm just
Yeah.
telling you what he said.
Right.
So I think that having that conversation mutually and saying, what is this? Now, let me ask this. Is a situationship a relationship?
Yes, it's when you have not.
It's a bad one.
It's a bad one, but it's when it's that gray area between dating and courting, when people haven't defined what this is. And that's why you have people at the family reunion saying, oh, that's Uncle so-and-so girlfriend. They've been together 5 years. They've
Yeah.
been together 5 years, 10 years, but they're still girlfriend mode. Situationships are gray areas because the
Right.
expectations haven't been discussed, like you
Right.
said. That's the only challenge with communication. Oftentimes people think it actually happened.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so there
Or they
was,
just assume that you're on the same page.
yeah,
Like but that you both want the same thing. But it's your responsibility to vet. So everybody that works with us, we
Mhm.
don't let them do the whole sob story and the victim story. We like, you're gonna hold them accountable.
yeah, and that's what we call them love. That's what we call them love leaders. Like, you are
Okay.
initiating a lot of these conversations. You are asking questions. You're not being interrogated. You're not asking someone on a date, all right, what's this? You ready to go with me? No, dating is fun.
Yeah.
You go with the flow, but there is some KPIs, just like building a business, that you have to
Right.
pay attention to in dating, that you also have to pay attention to in courting, that you then have to pay attention to in lifetime partnership.
Right.
Those are the 3 stages of connection. Dating is not a relationship. Courtship is a relationship, but it's
Mm.
temporary. And
Right.
then lifetime partnership is a relationship.
Yeah.
All
And
right. Now,
so,
y'all say y'all not traditional, but I'm gonna tell you something. And it's good to be traditional because my parents have been together for like 20 years. But I'll tell you, the stages that you're breaking down is very clear.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. So I like that. I like that better. Clear. Being clear.
clarity.
Clarity. Giving that person clarity. Because there's some people who have life, life, lifetime commitments, but it's a very untraditional relationship. Some of our clients are this way. They're what's that? I forgot the name.
Oh, dysfunction.
The one that starts with an A, where they have different partners.
Oh, polyamorous.
Polyamorous. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Okay.
But we had a couple of clients who were polyamorous, but they were in relationships for a long time. I understand that that's a non-traditional one. Most of
Right.
our clients aren't that, but but you can have what you want,
Just
but it has to be
clarity.
clear and it has to be genuine and it has to be forthright, forthcoming. You have to be forthcoming about it.
Now, talk to me. What are some green flags? I'll say this, that men should be looking for in women with a relationship.
Genuineness.
Sure. And that's why in our book Love Literacy, we make you first stop and do your profile, because a lot of people haven't taken the time, to your point, Kamara, to stop and see what they want, what they need, and what they desire. And
Right.
so a relationship profile forces you to do that, so that when you're on the date, you're just observing. You're being
Yeah.
yourself, you're showing up genuinely, and you're allowing that person to show up genuinely. But you also have a profile that you are checking against. Like, the person doesn't have to know that you're checking to see how they interact with other people, how their tone is, how their energy shifts when their conflict happens. But you know that.
Right. Right.
And so a guy has to be very clear about his profile. Similarly with women, you have to have the profile first, because what we recognize is a lot of people out here dating, talking about, oh, the dating pool is pissy, or they got pissy, all this stuff, but they don't have no idea what they want. And we don't want you to go on a date causing harm. So before you even go on a date, stop and do your work first.
Right.
And now, what are some green flags women should look for in men? Because a lot of these women, I hate to say it, but they, you know, they had these stories on YouTube where the guy was great for 6 months, then he turned out to be a wolf. And I always say there was some red flags he gave you, girl. Like, you're not gonna tell me that. So, what are some green flags for women to look for in a guy?
Well, I mean, you just described what happens on just about everybody's relationship journey. Um, uh, Chemistry will sustain you for the first few months usually. Usually. So you're like in this bubble. You're so excited, so happy. Everything's amazing. People at work are saying, "What are you doing different? Did you get a new hairstyle?" Because the relationship has that impact on you a lot of times. But after that, then the person drops back into their all the things that they learned in their subconscious from growing up.
Yeah.
So these are the things that are closest to that who that human being is. That's why people used to always tell you don't rush in.
Yeah.
Uh, they're telling you not to rush in because there's another side of that person. The mind has you have two minds. You have the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. In the dating realm, when you first meet somebody, you're in the conscious realm. So it's just, you're present. So it's the most exciting, bubbliest version of yourself. And then the other version shows up, and now you have to decide whether that part is compatible with you as well.
So look for green flags
That
for
makes sense?
everyone
Yeah.
is to look at
Yeah.
communication, green flag period. How are they communicating? How are they
Mm.
dealing with conflict? And then how are they going to nurture your companionship? It goes back to those 3 C's. It's never going to go away. And that's just the work that we individually have to do when we're dating that continues when we're coupled.
So, do y'all do sessions for just singles who need to get themselves together?
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Our work is for Black professional active dating though. You can't say I want to date and you just want to show up at the door like FedEx and no. When you
Yeah.
work with us, you're going to be actively
Yeah.
dating because remember, it's a shopping experience. I
Yeah.
know we have things being dropped off at our front door, but that's not how people work. You're going to have to get out there and be active, even if you start on the app, but you have to be actively in it to check chemistry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Now, let me ask you this. This is a mess a question from one of our followers. When should you get back with an ex?
You're asking the wrong two people. You're asking the wrong two people. First of all, that's sort of a hypothetical,
Okay.
but yeah,
If
but
if the breakup was because you didn't have the tools and you both are willing to do the work, that's a conversation. If the breakup is abuse or you just one person just
cheating,
don't cheat, you don't
lying,
want to be, and even if you get back after infidelity, that's still a lot of work that has because you have to rebuild the trust. So it depends on what the breakup was around. But if both people have the will and then willing are
and
open to
invested
learning,
in getting a new skill
skill,
for it.
yeah,
Like,
then
because
they
there are
can
two
work
things
together.
that drive your success in relationships, skill and will. So you're gonna have to, and, if if you just go back with that person because you love them or whatever, that's not enough. They
Mm.
have to do the work.
Has to
They
be
have
some
to put,
skill building.
yeah, they have to put an infrastructure in place that's gonna support you. Because relationships are all about service, and if they failed at serving you in the past or stand, just failed in any way, they're gonna have to address that because your needs not gonna go away.
And what are some clear signs? Because I put y'all now in the category as relationship, coaches, therapists. Um, what are some clear signs that a couple is going to make it?
Oh, that's a great question. Yeah, we could tell the health of a relationship by how they talk to one another, that
Okay.
tone. I'm telling you, the same thing, how they navigate conflict. It can be how they show up in a public space because the reason that we do the work at One Love Race Dynamically is because it's a relationship building organization, right? We want your relationship to be so strong and impactful that it inspires love in generations. You can literally be in a grocery store with your partner and that interaction that you all have, communication and how you exchange with one another can inspire someone passing in the aisle. That's what we want because our ultimate goal is to create a planet of love leaders, people whose relationships are healthy because people can learn from watching what you do. And so we have to weed out the situationships. We have to dismantle the dysfunctionships to get people back into healthy relationships.
The most the to me, the most important thing that shows me whether somebody's going to work or not is whether they have a growth mindset because you're going to continue to evolve as a person. and your relationship's going to evolve. And if you're with someone that doesn't embrace growth, and it's never on them to make any adjustments or changes, it's going to be problematic.
And you tell me, what are just give me one or two challenges that you all have overcome in your relationship. Just from my perspective, it seems to y'all like y'all put in work, but also at the same time, y'all have maturity, right? And like I could tell the way he talks with you, he's like, oh no, I'm gonna let her handle that one. And you're like, oh no, I'm gonna
Yeah.
let him handle that question. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, it's a good balance. So what's some challenges y'all overcame?
Well, initially, I can tell you my biggest challenge was I'm a, is respecting the fact that my wife could fight her own fights. Like, there are times when as a husband, it was my job to be the protector, and I took that very seriously. I still take it very seriously, but understanding that my wife is tough and she's smart and she can handle herself, and she knows how to tap me when she needs me. And so that was one of the things that I had to back up on. I have another, but I'm going to let my wife share. And
The second one that you was gonna share, I think, is the same one. When we were having extra conflict on top of the initial conflict, and we said, "What is this?" Like we already, because conflict keeps coming. If you as a couple don't deal with it, you're gonna see it 3 months later. It's gonna go away. You can take a break. You can break up, do whatever. But that same conflict gonna be waiting for you. And one of the things that we had was we would see the same challenge over, but as we were trying to work through it, we kept on having flare-ups in trying to work through it. It was like, listen, we can't keep coming to the same head. But then Cullen said, well, you know what? I realized that I'm prepping myself for you to have this volatile response to me even confronting you about the thing you did. And so I'm coming in hot.
So she was harsh initially, and then I never adjusted to her maturation. So I was expecting harshness to come when I came to her on certain subjects based on what I thought I knew about her. And it ended up like driving us into, an argument prematurely. It was something that didn't even have to go there. And so we're really happy that we were able to unpack that. The thing about it when you're in a relationship with somebody, intimate relationship with somebody, you're extra sensitive to each other. My wife and I could take anything from our friends, family members, whatever, but between each other, it's a slippery slope. You're sensitive to each other because you care about each other that much more. So yeah, so we made that adjustment. I'm really happy about it.
Are y'all based in Atlanta?
No, we're
New York.
out of New
We
York.
come to Atlanta.
Oh, y'all are in New York? Oh, okay,
Yeah.
nice. Nice,
We're
nice,
in
nice.
Harlem.
Yeah.
Okay, in Harlem. I want to ask you two more questions. How did y'all meet?
We met at the
And wait, you want to put in your other question first?
No, not yet.
Okay.
yeah. Yeah, so we met at the 40/40 Club. Both of us got dragged into this place. I worked in advertising. My one of my partners took me. He just begged me, "Come on, Cullen, you got to go with me." And her friend dragged her in.
Because
She was visiting.
I'm originally from New Orleans, and so when people come to visit me up here in New York, I'm like, all right, whatever you want to do. And she was like, I gotta go to 40/40 Club, gotta go meet my man Jay-Z. I was like, all right, girl, whatever. Let's, I just do whatever they say they want to do. And his coworker dragged him, and so we just so happened to be at the 40/40 Club here in New York City.
Yeah.
About 20 years ago, Memorial Day weekend, and because I didn't go out of town, he didn't go out of town, and it was such a great serendipitous meeting because I'm up in there, I'm like enjoying the game. It's sports board too, so I'm enjoying the game. It's playoff time. And he checked me in from the door. And I'm like, look at this dude coming over here. He's so cute. He came on the swings. They had swings in there at the time. And her and I were waiting to get by the swings. He go over to by the swings. And I'm like, look at him. He came over here to get a closer look there. Look at him. He's so cute. The moment I said that to her and turned back to him, he was gone.
Yeah. So
Was it really love at first sight?
No, he checked out.
No, it was. I really liked her, but I got up close to her and she looked so young. I was like, man, she's too young. So I walked. That was the reason I walked away because she looked like she was too young.
I think I'm ugly because he jetted out of here really quickly by the time I turned to him. And then later I got his attention and we started dancing. We talked forever and had to really remember that we were there with other people. Yeah. Like I think we stepped outside the club and was out there for about an hour just talking, and the chemistry was instant. So that love at first sight usually is around the chemistry, and we could talk and how you could just continue to be with that person.
I love that. And religion, are y'all religious?
We're Christian based. It's mostly spiritual. We have, ties, but we teach other people that aren't as well. Because again,
Mm.
we're a teaching organization, so we have worked with people, atheists, Buddhists, all of them, because the teachings and our practices grounded in a consciousness model. So it's a neutral model that everyone can learn from.
One question, because there was a couple questions that we had, but one question that stood out to me was, why do you think Christians, their divorce rate is higher than people who are non-Christians?
I really can't speak to that, but what I can tell you is I still think that in spite of reading the Bible, and this is kind of a setup question, but I just want to say because I could step into it on this one, but I'm just gonna be honest and just tell you from my point of view. I feel like I think it was TD Jakes that said that no, you know what? I'm not gonna play that game. I'm not even gonna take that risk because I know people may come hard at it. But what I will say is I feel like you still have to do the work.
Yeah.
Whether you're in church or not, you still got to do the work. And it's okay to pick up a book. And I can tell you this, there were 4,000 universities in the United States alone. Less than 1% of them are teaching about healthy relationship curriculum.
Mm.
Let me tell you, a minister has so much to cover in each session that you're going to get little pieces of stuff about relationships. So I'm telling you, if you're going to do this, you're going to have to be intentional about it. Go get help. You ain't got to do it with us, but go get help. If you would do good to do it with us, but I'm just saying, go get help somewhere. Go get the information because where else were we taught?
Churches are
Otherwise, you're going to be doing trial and error or
Yeah.
learning from somebody else who did trial and error.
Yeah, a lot of our churches aren't set up to have this exclusive, because the way we teach them out is almost like a semester in college. Like it's going to take time. You have to deconstruct some things you thought you knew. You're probably still dating out here like you dated when you was in high school. So we have to dismantle some stuff. Churches don't have time to do that on a retreat or a singles day or they're not doing that work. And so ours is specific and honed in on just relational health.
Yeah, and I'll say this, it wasn't a setup question at all. Because I have a Christian background, but
Yeah.
I see the difference in between, let's just say, former co-workers, their relationship's thriving. It look like it's thriving because they still together. And then my friends who they Christian, they break up like this. And I'm like, girl, what's
Yeah.
going on? But I see
Yeah.
the trend and I looked at the statistics and I'm like, dang. So I hear exactly what you're coming from, and I just really just want to know from relationship experts. Last thing, how can people book you? I will be getting a session with you guys, okay?
Yay.
How can people book you? What's the process with all this?
Sure. Well, we have a Love Leader Lounge and we have a Love Leader membership. Our membership is the self-paced sort of throughout the year of unpacking this work. And then we have couple series and dater series. The daters and couple series is a more intensive, intentional process because a lot of our clients are busy professionals. So you will have someone like, doctors, lawyers, they're like, listen, I need to get in, get out, find my person. Listen, I'll be married within a year. So that type of work is the consciousness model. You just go to our website and in a series, you just pick the dating series, and that's going to take you from 0 to all right, courting, engaged, something. But you're going to be intentionally doing work, or you can choose the membership where you're really breaking down some of the beliefs you have, past trial and error, and doing that work a little bit over time. And for anybody that's generally not ready to do the work, then of course subscribe to our YouTube channel and then join us in the Love Leader Lounges, which are free monthly intimate sessions.
First Tuesday of the month.
First Tuesday of the month where we're
Every
teaching
month,
where
yeah.
we're teaching a love lesson. And so
Yeah.
that's a longer way to drip it out. So you can always find this information on our website. Like I said, the series are more intentional, intensives. And then the Love Leader Lounge and the YouTube channel are free resources as well.
Excellent. And so y'all work with singles, y'all work with people that are dating, married, y'all work with situationships, y'all work with them all.
Yeah. We
You gonna
do.
clear them up. You gonna clear them
That's
up.
right. Yeah.
Get clarity
Yeah.
in your first session. Yes, you
Yeah.
will.
They're gonna be like, oh goodness. Okay, well, first of all, I want to say thank you. This interview, it'll be put out by Friday, but I look
Okay.
forward to working with you guys some more. I'm gonna speak with Danielle on booking, but I'm gonna have y'all call in live to the radio show, probably like in March, but because I'm gonna have y'all
Okay.
back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, Kamara. Great
Yeah.
meeting you.
This was a
Nice
great
meeting you.
interview.
No, no,
Thanks.
no, thank you. All right, talk to y'all
Yeah.
soon.